Hi. I'm Vicky Fraser, and I am here today with Mike Garner, who is one of my superheroes. In fact, possibly my longest-standing superhero. And I just wanted to get him onto the video and have a bit of a chat, really. So, hi, Mike.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Fine, great. Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, Tuesday afternoon. Could you let's start off with what do you do? Tell us a bit about what you do.
I'm a copywriter, basically, which means I write marketing stuff, and I always find I have to qualify when you say copywriter, because either people look at me blankly, or otherwise because they don't know what it means, or otherwise they think we do intellectual property.
Yes.
And there is not a copywriter in the world that hasn't had that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so write marketing stuff.
Cool, write marketing stuff. Cool, okay. And what do you do outside business? What brought you to copywriting? Because you've got quite an interesting story.
I was a translator for many years, and I kind of morphed into writing, because a translator is basically still a writer.
Sure.
Just because you speak two languages doesn't mean to say you're a good translator. I was living in France. I lived in France for 20 years. I came to translation basically through poverty. Because I was unemployed. I trained to be a teacher and failed the exam, because it's a competitive exam in France. So if you like, if they're going to take 2,000 people, and you come 2,000 first, that's tough luck for you, basically.
Yeah.
So I failed at that, and desperation. I thought, what can I do? I know how to speak French. I know how to speak English. I'll be a translator, and I learned on the job.
Cool.
Which is what I've done in the last 20 years, basically. I've been learning on the job.
So what took you from translation to copywriting? Why did you stop
translating other people's bad French?
Fair enough.
because engineers, to be quite frank, with the greatest respect to your husband, write badly in any language.
So many of them do, yes, they are.
Yes. No, I just got bored.
Fair enough.
Really, I can tell you things about the inside of a tie you don't want to know. I'm thinking very boring technical stuff most of the time, or contracts, legal stuff. At least the legal stuff was properly written.
Yeah.
But it wasn't floating any boats, so I stopped.
Fair enough. And I guess copywriting gives you a bit more variety than you get to.
It does, yeah, because you get to, if nothing else, you get to talk to people. What I love is not so much the writing, that does itself at the end. It's the whole process of devising messages and talking to people about their businesses, because I love their stories.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Is their stories. What's the most interesting story that you've heard from one of your clients?
Oh, crikey. Now you put me on the spot. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, your favourite client, because you must have worked with some...
Yeah, I've got some... what I really love is, but you don't know people's background. You don't know what they've done. I did have a conversation with... I did some work with a personal trainer a few years ago. She was, at the time, she was quite young, 22, 23, something like that, which in that particular world is relatively young. And we're just going through the comment, and she just kind of mentioned a couple of things, and it will come back. She was a champion Irish dancer.
What? That's amazing.
A world champion Irish dancer by the age of 16 or 17, I think. But she never mentioned it, just threw it out of the conversation. Okay, fine. And that's the kind of thing. You don't know people's backgrounds.
You don't. It's true, and that's the kind of thing you can
stage in their life, and then there's this kind of 20, 30 years behind them. You have no idea what they've done, which is great. This is part of interacting with people, which is just wonderful.
Cool. Okay, so what is it that you do now? What type of a copywriter are you? How do you help people?
I help people really with defining a message. Well, what I mean by that is working out what you're selling, who you're selling to, because that's basically marketing 101. If you haven't worked that out, then you're pretty much dead in the water. And I go to a lot. So I see a lot of presentations, people in networking meetings and stuff like that, and people stand up and say, "We do this, 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 and this," and they cram it all into 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And there's a number of things in there, but basically, I don't care. I don't care about what you do.
Yeah.
What I care is about what you do for me. And getting people to flip is quite difficult sometimes, because we're all basically self-centered.
Yes.
We love talking about ourselves, and talking about other people is quite difficult for some people.
Yeah. Getting people to put themselves in other people's shoes can be quite tough.
Walk a mile in my shoes, as they say, and it is the people. I mean, the people that do it are very successful, but it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what led you here? How did you find me?
To the superheroes.
Yeah.
I met a mutual friend of ours in 2014, I think it was, at a networking event in Wolverhampton. Speed networking, of all things, actually.
Speed networking. Is that like speed dating? Speed
networking was. If you've never done speed network, please do it just once, if nothing else. It'll put you off it for life. And it's ironic, because the best ever connection I got out of speed networking was another copywriter.
Oh.
We had a long conversation afterwards, just walking up and down the event, and then she put me into a secret group of copywriters on Facebook, which we both know.
Yeah.
And the rest, as I say, is history. And it was me taking an opportunity somebody else didn't take, because I remember a post which was basically saying, "Oh, sign up to my stuff," and the person concerned didn't, and I thought, I'll have some of that, see what all that's about, and I did, and like I say, the rest is history.
Cool.
Ironically, as well, towards the end of that email sequence, there was starting the inner circle sell thing, and the first couple of emails come up and said, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't need to do that." Of course, classic thing. By the time we got to the end of it, yeah, I will actually, and it's. I suppose that's the way it's supposed to work, isn't it?
That is the way it's supposed to work, yeah. And you are one of my longest standing superheroes, which is just really, really cool. I'm constantly amazed at how long you've been in my world, which is
3 years, is it? I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
I've just filled up my folder of chronicles.
Have you?
I haven't got any space left in it.
Excellent. The Chronicle, by the way, for anyone who is listening and watching this and doesn't realise what it is, it's my.
Sorry.
Wait, why don't you tell people what it is? What is it? What's the Chronicle?
It's I hate to say the word newsletter, because it's not. I realise, I've got a very big pile of them here. It's a big marketing library.
Cool.
That's all I can say, really. So it's an encyclopedia, and because I've been going back through some stuff on direct mail, because I'm putting together a direct mail campaign for next year. And yeah, it's those 4 particular articles. I mean, they're chunky articles. I'm not quite sure how many words they are, but there's kind of 10 pages worth. There's a lot of content in there.
There is. Thank you. I've never thought of it as a marketing library before. I love that. Thanks, Mike.
It is.
So you've been in the group for quite a while. So what's changed for you since you joined and since you've kind of been working through?
Lots of things have changed. I think this is one of the many things that have changed, but I think it's the knowledge that we're not alone, which sounds a little bit philosophical, but I think business owners can only understand business owners. The people around us can nod in sympathy and everything, but there are times when you say things and you're looking someone straight in the eye, and you don't need to explain. They know what you're going through. They know, because life isn't always, as a business owner, it's not always a bed of roses. There are some ups and downs, let's say.
Sometimes it's totally shit, Mike. Let's just say it.
Sorry?
Sometimes it's totally shit. Let's just be honest.
Well, yes. I was trying to be kind of, well, a bit more positive, but no. I mean, yeah, there are some shit moments. And that's fine, because you've got people around you, and you just want to have a rant. I mean, if nothing else, I've got an accountability buddy out of it, which sometimes we just ring each other up and just have a rant, really, and it doesn't matter, because we both understand each other.
Sure.
Well, that's just it. We both understand. There are things that kind of go unsaid that don't need to be said because we just get each other.
Yeah.
That I couldn't talk to about anybody. I couldn't talk to anybody else really about that with them having to understand.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, so what are you working on at the moment? Because I know you've got quite a lot going on at the moment. So, what are you working on at the moment?
Well, there's this direct mail campaign, which is planned for next year.
Cool. Tell us a bit about
that. Well, I'm only at the information gathering stage at the moment. I've had a couple of ideas. It's basically it's for me to get some work in.
Cool.
I'll be sending out some lumpy mail at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which we will have some shredded money in it.
Yes.
We'll see how we go with that one. And then there'll be kind of further stages on. There'll be postcards, there'll be phone calls, there'll be emails perhaps as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of quite a big project for next year. I've got a couple of sales letters going on at the moment, which I'm writing, and a couple of I've got a sales campaign which will probably happen next year as well. So that's just the same as what I'm doing, and a couple of branding, what I call branding. Working out what you're doing, what you're selling.
Yeah.
I do client exercises. Let's call them.
Cool.
But yeah, thinking about it, there's a fair amount going on.
There is. I'm really excited to see what you do with your direct mail campaign because I'm going to just make a point now for anyone who's listening, particularly copywriters. If you are thinking, because I see copywriters all the time kind of talking about, oh, there's no work, I've got no work coming in. And what you're doing is going out and bloody looking for it. And that's the really important thing is that, not everything that you do is going to work. Some of it won't work at all, but you're going to you're putting together a campaign, you're going to be sending it out there, and that's going to eventually bring, sooner or later, it's going to bring results for you.
It certainly won't work if you don't do it.
Exactly. So what are your hopes and plans for the future? Where do you see yourself going?
Oh, apart from being a millionaire.
This time next year, Rodney?
No. I think I haven't given up on that one actually. In terms of work, you mean, or in terms of?
Well, work, life, anything.
Well, work-wise, yeah. I mean, because I consider, I've lived abroad a long time. I consider myself a bit of an internationalist, and I want to travel more. I think I want my work, because my work is also part of my life as well. I don't really see kind of a work life and a non-work life because I just enjoy doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't conceive of retiring because what would I do? I might do less of what I do now, but I would certainly do the kind of thing I'm doing now. If it's good enough for David Attenborough, it's good enough for me.
Yes.
So I suppose I could see the future doing what I'm doing now, but doing more of it and doing it better.
Cool.
It's constant improvement, I think. That's the kind of thing that kind of gets me going. On a side issue, we've all had. Well, I certainly have had issues, let's say, with self-esteem and stuff like that as a business owner, and I think I've got over those now. And it's just so great to be able to sit and do this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think I could be working in an office for minimum wage, or I can do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, not much. There's not much choice there, is there?
That's really cool. And yeah, I've really enjoyed, talking about the challenges that you've faced. I've really enjoyed watching you grow over the last few years, and we all grow together. It's really cool. But what has been your biggest challenge, do you think, past or present, that you've dealt with, and how have you got over it?
In the business, I think it's realising that I'm, to use a horrible hackneyed phrase, I'm worth it. That I am actually good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not alone in suffering from that, if you like. I really do think business owners, certainly small business owners and solopreneurs, to use a horrible word, their main problem is not sales and marketing. It's not kind of lead generation or stuff like that. It's self-belief.
Yeah.
So many businesses, you see them standing up. You know, they apologise for what they do. I'm looking at you, accountants, or MLM people as well, but they do. And why just be proud of what you do? I saw there was a tweet. Tom Albrington, who is a copywriter we both know, was talking about being just a writer and comparing himself to the Thackeray's and the Dickens of this world. And I actually kind of commented on that. Said, I used to think that for ages, but I'm actually quite proud now to be just a writer.
Yeah.
Because in my own little world, I'm king of my own little world. I don't care about anybody else.
Yeah. Cool. That's really great to hear you say that, Mike, because I'm not sure you would have said that a couple of years ago.
Or even a year ago. So
that's awesome. That has put a big smile on my face.
Good.
And what has been your biggest win, do you think?
My win?
Mm.
I'm coming back to that, actually. I don't think it's money. It's not landing a big client. It's almost a realization that I can land a big client.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Well, yes. I suppose my biggest win is getting over imposter syndrome.
Good.
Realizing that we all do it. You know, that moment you wake up in the morning and think everybody's better than you, everybody's happier than you, everybody's got more money than you. Almost without exception, we all feel that.
Yeah.
And that is such a kind of that sets such a bang off in my head. That and it set off a chain of events that bring me to what I am now. No, and I'm just happier. Yeah,
good.
For it.
Awesome. I'm really pleased to hear that, because I mean, the imposter syndrome thing, I think we tend to look at the people that we look up to and assume that they've got it all sussed and all sorted, and I think they suffer from it just as much as everybody else. And I get people saying to me all the time, oh, you're so confident, you're so this, you're so that, and I'm like, well, yes, I am, but that doesn't mean that sometimes I don't still look at myself and think, this is someone, people are going to find out, they're going to find out all about me. And, that goes for everybody. I mean, I think if you even talk to people like Oprah Winfrey and, and Richard Branson, they still have moments of self-doubt and fear.
Completely. Completely.
So that's really cool. Okay, cool. Well, the other thing I wanted to ask was, because, business is all very well and all that, but what do you like to do outside of business?
At the moment, I'll be quite frank with you, I'm not doing too much outside business. I'm a great reader of stuff. I'm interested in just finding out stuff, actually, which do I count that as work? Perhaps sometimes I count it as work, and it's not really.
Yeah.
Fun. I mean, I found out something a couple of days ago. The Voyager 2 space probe that launched in 1977. I can remember the 1 and 2 launching because I'm that old. It's just left the galaxy, and it's traveling at 34,000 miles an hour, and it won't reach another star for another 40,000 years. Which fills me with wonder, and yeah, exactly, blows my head completely. What's the point of that kind of information? Nothing really, at all. I'm a quiz nut. I used to watch when I watched the University Challenge. I used to watch Ask the Family, which is one for the kids, and Top of the Form. Even when I was a teenager in the early 70s, there's this thing called Top of the Form that was on. I can remember it in black and white on TV. Jeffrey Wheeler, yeah. And I don't know, just knowledge for knowledge's sake. I like taking a lot of photographs and things as well. But again, it's that's all about seeing the world and just being in the world at the moment. She sounds very philosophical, but
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with a bit of philosophy.
I understand what I mean. But again, that's because of the realizations that I've had over the last year or so, just about living in the present.
Yeah. I know you totally. I totally get it, because I'm interested in everything, which is sometimes a bit inconvenient. So I totally get the whole, just wanting to learn about everything.
There's a danger of being a shiny object.
Yes.
At the moment. But at the moment, I'm being, this week at least, I'm being very disciplined, because I've got, like you have, I've got theme days.
Good.
Today in theory is a client work day, but I've got half an hour. Well, I'm not doing client work. Yesterday was marketing, Monday was learning, and I'm getting so much more done.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because
I'm not doing the shiny objects.
Yeah, I think because you're focusing. This day is for this thing. This day is for this thing.
Exactly.
Really important. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, where can people find out more about you, Mike?
Website is brandingwithwords.com.
Cool.
I'm just uploading a worksheet, which is a free worksheet, and there's a little email course behind it about how to define your ideal client.
Brilliant.
And how to unearth the problems that your ideal client is suffering, because knowing who you're targeting is one thing, but if you don't have some kind of plan afterwards to target them, well, there's not much point. So there's I can't off the top of my head remember what the link is on the end of it, but there's a, you click on the website, you'll see it.
Brandingwithwords.com.
Sorry?
Brandingwithwords.com.
Brandingwithwords.com, yes.
Super. Well, Mike, thank you so much for coming on to this interview with me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
As usual.
And I will see you. Well, I'll see you very soon in the superheroes group. If anybody else, I was just going to ask it. If anybody else is thinking of joining the superheroes, would you recommend that?
Nah, don't bother. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, you've only been around for 3 years, haven't you?
I've recommended a couple of people to come in as well, and they have. And
you have. You're a total superstar. So, Mike, thanks so much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I will see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye.